Good evening, everyone. I'm Valerie Jarrett, and it is such a pleasure for me to be with you. Well, 2020, as we all recognize, has been quite a year. But tonight, we're here to celebrate the extraordinary contribution and work of the history makers over the last 20 years. Now, I've been a big supporter of history makers since day one. But I will say to you that I have an appreciation that has grown with each passing year of the unique role the history makers play in telling the story of the African Americans' contribution to the fabric of our country, to a history that without us would not be written. My parents, Barbara and Jim Bowman, and many members of my extended family have been interviewed for the archives. And in fact, the history makers was instrumental in ensuring that my father's personal papers were retained by the University of Chicago. And that's so important because he was the first African American to receive tenure there in the Division of Biological Sciences. And so the history makers plays a very special role in my life as well. Now I want to take you back to the year 2016. That was the year that the history makers was awarded funding to overhaul its website and digital archives. Now its digital archives are in use in 80 colleges and universities across our country. And the history makers held salutes with regional receptions that took them from coast to coast, from Richmond, Virginia to Seattle, Washington. It's also the year that both my dear friend Eric Holder and I were interviewed by history makers. Both members of the Obama administration, both lawyers, Eric from New York and then Washington, D.C., me from Chicago, and it was such a special year for us both. I was interviewed by my dear friend, Michelle Norris, an extraordinary journalist whose own body of work has contributed mightily to the history of the Black experience in America. The air that night was filled with excitement, and I was joined by my rather large family and so many dear friends whose lives have touched me in more ways than I can recount. It really started me thinking about my journey, my personal journey, a conversation that I continue to have to this day. So let's go back to that very special night in my life and take a look.
Are we good?
They're still cabling up.
Lift it up.
That's what it goes down. You on the edge.
Actually, I'm going to take
Voiceover introduction.
All the way back.
And then it goes to this one. What he's saying though is as you're reading,
Please indulge us by doing so.
She is a lawyer, she is a businesswoman and public servant.
Her family memoir, A Grace of Silence.
When she's seated, we will then start our show.
To officially honor Valerie Jarrett.
Read this out, Blue.
I want to thank all of you. Tonight means so much to me. And to have you here, First Lady, back to your home, it means so much. So thank you for blessing us tonight with your presence. To say I'm tickled pink would be an understatement. This period in our history is really the realization of our dream. Our digital archive is now being used in K-12 schools across the nation.
Ladies and gentlemen, let's give a big, huge Chicago welcome to Valerie Jarrett.
Atlanta was a real eye-opener for my sister and me in several respects. We were exposed to the black colleges, black football games at Herndon Stadium, and it was just an amazing thing to see.
We were from all over the United States and Africa and the Caribbean. So that exposure was broadening my reach.
The teachers were nurturing. They wanted us to be successful. They wanted us to secure higher education. They had, I think, more dreams and more visions for us than we had for ourselves.
When I was a little boy, vivid dreams were my favorite toys. Sweet music set me free. I'd close my eyes to see the invisible chains, invisible chains. And now I'm grown to be a man, gonna make my way with my own two hands. Wish that I could be absolutely free from these invisible chains, invisible chains. Where there's a will, there is a way. Where there's a will, there is a way. Oh yeah. Where there's a will, there is a way. Oh, where there's a will, there is a way. Making my way toward my redemption. This prison is of my own invention, yeah. What will it take to capture my attention? Love will help part the sea. Don't see that's inside of me that holds these invisible chains, invisible chains. Where there's a will, there is a way to break these invisible chains. Where there's a will, there is a way. Where there's a will, there is a way to break these invisible chains. Where there's a will, there is a way to break these invisible chains.
Please welcome to the stage the Honorable Eric Holder.
Chris Davis. Scotland,